This boy gets placed in a special machine. It then closes, and a toothbrush slides down. After he is clean, the machine gives him an outfit and lets him go. He then puts on some Jordans and whips out a portable hoverboard to go to the main quarters of the spaceship. On his way, he decides to play a new virtual reality game where you have to shoot flying aliens with a bow. But just as he was about to shoot the main boss, his mom comes in and destroys it. She then tells him that she must show him something immediately. She arrives in the lab and sees that her new potion is done. Suddenly, the boy accidentally touches one of the alien plants. When his mom comes over, she simply tickles the sussy plant, and it lets go of his arm. She then warns him that unfortunately there will be side effects, but the boy doesn't believe her. Suddenly, the plant starts growing on him, and he turns into an alien. After he drinks the potion, however, the ship gets hit with a massive asteroid. He then has to get inside the only pod on the ship and gets ejected to another planet. Now he is sad because he won't get to play Space Fortnite anymore, and that's when this girl is about to eat her food. When she sees a hungry boy who never has any lunch, she offers him a piece, and he immediately devours it. When suddenly he whips out a whole slice of carrot cake out of nowhere. The girl is surprised, but ends up eating it anyway. The next day, she sits with him again, and this time she swaps her spaghetti with his sandwich. This continues for a while, and eventually they become best friends. Even on the bus, they still share their lunches with each other. As time goes on, they eat their food even when it's raining or even snowing outside. The boy always throws her a candy from the bus as she goes home, but little did he know what would happen the next day. As he was coming home, he looks outside the bus window to see that her house has been sold. It turns out that she moved, and he sadly stares at his lunchbox with the carrot cake he was supposed to give her. But as it was Christmas that day, the boy suddenly saw Santa delivering presents to his house, and so the next day, the girl also found a present next to the tree. She sees the same blue lunchbox the boy has, and when she opens it, she smiles. So comment if you have a friend and subscribe. This old man is playing chess alone because all of his friends have died. So he takes off his glasses and goes to sit on the opposite chair to play the other pieces. He pretends to be an evil version of himself to make the game challenging. He goes back to his chair and makes a move, but it seems like his evil twin is much better than him. On his next move, he makes a small mistake, and the evil man instantly takes his piece. He even begins laughing at him. On his next move, he makes another mistake, and the evil twin takes yet another piece. Slowly, the evil old man begins taking every single piece, and eventually, the old man only has his queen left. The evil twin taunts him, and then takes his last remaining piece. Now it will be checkmate on the next move, but instead of losing, the old man starts pretending to not be alive, and falls under the table. This heavily confuses his evil twin, but just as he's distracted, the old man comes back and flips the board around. Then he stands up and makes the wrong move, making the game end in a draw. Just kidding, he won even though it was all in his head. This boy is about to drink his juice when he sees people laughing at him. At that moment, his hands begin shaking and he ends up dropping the drink. And even though it was an accident, all of his friends start looking at him weirdly and even talking about him as if it was his fault. It turns out that he has a condition that affects his movement, and no one wants to be friends with him. Suddenly, a girl walks up to him and tells him to follow her to the playground, but when he tries, he just ends up falling. He then sees a random boy just laughing at him, which makes him feel even worse. Because of this, he had to leave the school, but as his mom rolls him away, he decides that he can't give up and stops her. But as he goes towards everyone, he suddenly teleports through the fence. Somehow, people still laugh at him, so he decides to start rebuilding himself. Just as he gains everyone's respect, he starts being pulled back towards the fence. The girl from before grabs his hand, and soon everyone tries to pull him back. But as they have been skipping the gym, they also get pulled into the fence and it disappears. They then finally all become friends. So comment if you have a friend and subscribe.